Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I'm with the one and only amazing Mr. Wolf, and this is just general share advice, and not personal advice. Wolfie, you're on TV yesterday representing
Yes.
Equity Story, where you're becoming a bit of a TV star now.
I think they just asked for someone better looking. So
well, now I'm in head office. I see all the posts and made lots of letters, like some very beautiful girls wanting to date you. I actually take those letters for myself, so and I hand them out to the guy who does the best in sales.
Nice.
So you don't get those, unfortunately, Wolf. But I will send you some of. There's some nice ones about your age, which I'll send you.
Oh, beautiful. You're so nice.
All right, but well done, Wolf, and showing them how to trade and putting out some some good stories. Now, can you talk about some ideas you actually talked about on telly yesterday?
Yeah. So I went down the route of following the man, because we normally follow the story more than anything else, plus obviously the technicals, right? So fundamentals, technicals, but this one is more of a follow the man plus technicals and fundamentals, right? So this looks actually very, very good technically, for sure, for you. But the guy Bill Beament is the reason why we're interested to see how this story develops. And funny enough, the word is develop.
Yeah, no, good price.
So yeah, look, I think good price action, like you said. They've got the quarterly coming up this in the next probably couple of weeks. So I'm watching with interest to see where we're going to be.
And you had a little chat about T&E.
Yeah, I love the swinging, charts that we talked about. That bounce of either support lines or the natural numbers here. So that $13 looks like a nice support. It sort of bounced off that. I thought maybe that could be a nice little. And Dave, it's a really, really strong story with a very strong fundamentals recently, and it's a market darling. So you'd think that it would have a nice swinging chart.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, over the long term, it's been a massive winner, that story. And FPH, which I agree looks very enticing, the way it's
and another one that's swinging chart, and it's coming from a different angle, because this one, of course, had that great pandemic period and pretty shitty post-pandemic period. But the recent announcement really showed that it's almost back, right? We've had that huge green candle. Then, of course, the sellers came in, took in some profits, understandably. But it's bouncing. It's just beautifully. It's exactly what you want to see out of a good story.
And
we talked about lithium. It's the next one we talked about, right? So I didn't actually talk specifically about lithium stories themselves, but I talked about the lithium chart, which it looked like we're on the way down. So we basically, what I talked about, we're possibly post peak lithium prices. We had huge rises over the last 18, 20, 24 months, right? And it's now, looks like we're now coming back to that supply demand equations where it might take some time before prices normalize, but just be wary, because if the prices do normalize, and everyone pretty much is calling that the prices are now gonna come off in 2023 and 24. So just be wary of your stories that you are trading or holding on. Don't fall in love with them, because there was a lot of FOMO in there, and not everyone's going to make it. So,
and
warning to everyone.
And most probably one of the most sort of owned Australian stories in lithium is PLS, which is if it looks like this by the end of the week, you'd definitely be getting out its broken trend.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just one of those moments in time where you've got to be careful not to go down with the ship, so to speak. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a Titanic complete collapse, but it will be heading down, I think.
And Dare said LAU, it's still not late to get in. A dividend of 5% and growing and not expensive, P 11 in the right space.
This is the thing, and I wanted to just bring attention to everyone out there, right, on Ausbiz, about stories that you think this, it's too late, it's gone up high. No, it's not too late with these sort of stories, because it is going very well. So they've got having that moment right now where it's still value. People are looking for that value story. I mean, that's the key word at the moment, right? Value. Where can you find value? This is it, and it's not too late, because your company that's come up with an upgrade, that's going quite well. It's servicing that key infrastructure between rural and the city, food as well, right? They are the main transporters of fresh food, logistics, storage. It looks good.
All right. Now, Wolf, getting on to China, accepting Australian coal again.
Yep.
Isn't it great?
From the probably first of April, I think that's what they say. Is that
an April Fool's joke from them?
I don't know. And this is where I thought, unfortunately, where you come in, because you are the 1st of April baby, right?
Yeah,
so,
we are.
I don't know whether that's a joke or not. No better than me.
Okay. We haven't actually done an April Fool's joke for a while on April. We did one.
We did one because everyone got scared.
We did one in 2021. And the phone wouldn't
Spooked
stop
everyone.
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
But
two things with coal. So positive, that's possibly China are dropping the opposition to import coal from Australia, right? Remember what that they just said, now we're not interested in Australian coal. So that's a positive. On the other hand, what's actually coal doing? Because that's got to be the key, right? And I don't think when you look at coal at the moment, I'm just going to have a look at coal prices. You've got a 395, so it's still holding around roughly around the $400 mark. So maybe you'll see another little bounce from those trend lines, and give you another little trade out of this. So just probably wait till the week and see where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the way it is at the moment, just you're holding it. If you want to trade it off your daily maybe. Wolfie, an ALK. So
Yep.
good announcement today.
Very good announcement, Dave. Double positive. A double positive is production upgrade and lower costs. I mean, it's like almost Santa Claus type stuff. I know it's been struggling, and we talked about it that possibly that because it's a low producer, it's only producing like 65,000 ounces per annum, which is traditionally below what you'd classify a investable gold players. But it's had that BODA with it, right, which created a lot of value for the company. But now investors probably thinking, well, we're not going to put too much emphasis on BODA. We're going to just look at its Tomingley operations, which because it's a small operation, they've just completely destroyed the value, right, down to about 50 something cents. So it's bouncing now. Gold's looking great. We're going to talk about that in a sec. But it's a little bit too early for me. But I love the announcement, and I think maybe in the next week or two we might see the back over the trend lines, and maybe there'll be a trade again.
Yeah. Yeah, gold's looking very good now. So I'm just looking here, 1,861. Yep. Up again overnight, and
it's going up at the moment in the morning too, because it was 58 when I woke up this morning. So it's put another $3 on. It's good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Now, I think it's time to put on. We did put on obviously Newcrest.
Yep.
And sort of doing well, and we said do the stop loss if you want, if you haven't taken profits, and maybe target that 23. But I think the other story that we could look to add on is another quality play, which we talked about as a buy the other day, but let's put on officially on the our website, is Evolution. So buy around this 325 level, and I think I'd be looking to initially target around that sort of 350 and maybe $4.
And thank you for doing that, because me and Claude talked about, we come up with a couple of ideas. I came up with Evolution yesterday in the video. Yeah. I didn't put it officially on, but I thought this is a story to have a look at, because they're coming up with a quarterly season right now in January. Gold's looking good. Talked about it yesterday. It looks actually fantastic, probably gold. And when you look at the actual quarterly from September, Dave, they were talking about production going up, and they're talking about costs going down, just like we saw with Alkane, right? So if they can come up with some decent quarterly, I think this is why I'm sort of interested in Evolution as a possible play to that 350, 360, and then maybe the next target $4.
And also, Wolf, I think something about Evolution, which I'm sure you spotted as well. When it has a run over trend, it can actually have a quite nice move, can't it? Mm-hmm. It's not a stock that tends to hover above trend. It tends to, if it gets above trend and starts moving, it can have a good move.
So look, plus the fact is it's coming off lows, right? It's actually half what it used to be
where the price was similar in 2020. So okay,
something
okay, okay, I like it. I think the risk reward is great there. Now SDV.
Yep.
Again, a story that you've always liked. It's just been a hobble down trend. It's sort of broken above trend.
Yep.
A good announcement.
Yep.
So, what's your general feel on?
My general feel is it's probably a story that if you've got a vast portfolio, it can easily find a spot in your portfolio, right? For the longer term. And the reason why, he's got his new CEO, right? That they've actually a company that's taken over, which he seems to be doing okay. So he knows the business pretty well. And the contract they've been winning recently, Dave. So I mean, you've got today the 30 million Iluka over 3 years is brilliant. My only question now is, can they actually make money out of these contracts, right? Can they turn a good profit out of these things? And I think that there's a strong possibility that they're going to have quite a substantial, nice revenue growth, but it's the bottom line that really was my key here. I like it. I like it overall. And I think when you look at actually down in November, there was some buying from directors. So then there was something coming. So that's a precursor to potentially that this could be a good little run from here.
All right. So listen, it's more risk in this play, but we're going to put it on as a trade. Buy now, stop loss under say 33 at the end of the week, and we'll look to break through those resistance lines, Wolf. And
but we need to have a tight stop with this, Dave, because we've got a quarterly coming up, right? So I'm always nervous with quarterlies because it can go either way. We can either look like heroes or like complete fools.
Well, you know what, the thing is, your daily stop is more or less the same as I think where your weekly will be. So I think it's around that 33. And Lynn, now for those results look very high, Wolf.
Yeah, absolutely. Thick, good grades, close to surface, right? So all those three things that I normally talk about when I'm looking at commodity stories, tick, tick, tick. The only thing is not tick, Malawi, right? So what the question is, what do you do here with this stock?
It's not as bad as some of the countries in Africa, is it?
I possibly, but you know, hard to separate like what's good, what's bad in Africa. Really, it is much harder area anyway, generally speaking, right? Than areas.
We'll just Google it. Malawi tourist advice. It tells you, doesn't it?
Well, maybe from a investment point of view, where's Malawi ranked?
Yeah, it's
But saying that, okay, let's turn this a little bit differently. Let's accept that this is a very high risk, right? So you say to yourself, what do you do with this? I know it's in Africa, great results. Is there a possibility to more to come? Yes, right? So you might take a punt on this and say, tight stop, happy to get in there as long as I know that there's more results coming, which they're probably going to be more drilling for sure. The other question is, Dave, let's have a look at the cash position because we don't want to, buy something before they're going to capital raise, because that's always the case. So let's have a look at the cash position recently. So yep, we've got that. Company resignation appointments. And look, like I said, there's probably other risks with this as well, with management and all that sort of things. But I'm wondering where. Let me see the quarterly.
So it's not too bad. It just says petty crime, a bit of bag snatching, theft is common, a few carjacking. I don't think they've got sort of the
same safest houses.
The Mullanshi district is a high risk area of crime.
Dave, I'd be more worried about Wolverhampton then if that's the case, wouldn't it?
Well, Wolverhampton would be a lot scarier than this, that's for sure. Yeah, so I don't think they've got like coup d'etats happening every 5 minutes, have they?
All right. So I'm just looking. Look, they had a capital raising of $16 million in December. That's a good thing. So they've already passed the capital raise, and maybe that's why there's a big pullback from the company. So it could be, this could be a decent little punt here with a tight stop.
All right. So I buy 18 or under. You have to be patient, and a target at 25 would be a nice little trade.
Yep.
All right, Wolf, we're going to put those, thank you very much, sir. We're going to put those 3 trends on, and I'm going to wish you a good day.
Thank you very much. And gold's now 1855. Yeah, 1855.
Okay, go down a bit. All right, thanks, Wolfie.
Cheers.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.